Shack up. Nut up or shut up.
Guys like that. You like it? Looks like it.
Раз, это хардбас, все в спортивках Адидас. И на Найке пацаны, слушаем хардбас басы. Этот стайл любимый, ждем все в ритме колбасы. 150 ударов тут, пацаны спортивка ждут. Это школа колбасы, веселее пацаны. Раз, это хардбас, все в спортивках Адидас. И на Найке пацаны, слушаем хардбас басы. Этот стайл любимый. Это хардбас, все в спортивках Адидас. И на Найке пацаны, слушаем хардбас басы. Этот стайл любимый, ждем все в ритме колбасы. 150 ударов тут, пацаны спортивка.
Hard bass Friday.
Это хардбас, все в спортивках Адидас. И на Найке пацаны, слушаем хардбас басы. Этот стайл любимый, ждем все в ритме колбасы. 150 ударов тут, пацаны спортивка ждут. Школа танцев учит вас правильно плясать хардбас. В клубе до утра топтать и ничего не принимать. Будьте рады из беды, наши злейшие враги. На площадках мы похвас, отожгем для вас хардбас. Бас, хардбас, бас, хардбас, бас, хардбас. Отожгем для вас хардбас. Бас, хардбас, хардбас, хардбас. Отожгем для вас хардбас. Бас, хардбас, хардбас, отожгем для вас хардбас. Бас, хардбас, отожгем для вас.
Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? Happy Friday. The fuck? What's with the audio, bro? How dare you? Oh! Polski. Weak sound. Weak sound. Yeah, we can't dance to that shit. Thank you. Oh, there we go. That's better. That's how strong my background noise remover is. The house speakers are on. The only one they got, man. Alright, maybe we got a better one here. Let's see. No, that's short. They're all too short. It's the only one that's any good. Right here. Yeah, I am fascinated by Russian subculture. And the fucking vodka. That's right, chat. It's Friday. Time to have a little fun. We have to have fun. No dancers. This sucks. Where's the fucking right one? Alright. Alright, here we go. This has got some dancers, I think. This better have dancers. Or I'm gonna shoot fucking YouTube. Alright. Okay, this is better. I fucking hate pickles, mate. It's too bad. I only drink pickle juice. It's disgusting.
Do you like to drink was and listen to her bass? You're Slav, you're Slav, you're Slav. Do you often squat and wear Adidas? You're Slav, you're Slav, you're Slav.
Ironically, of course.
You're Slav, you're Slav, you're Slav. Do you like to drink was and listen to her bass?
Back up. Shut up or shut up.
They got their fucking Ladas. All. They're fucking. Yeah, they got Lada racers. This is what I'm talking about. This is who I'm hanging out with if I'm in Russia. We're causing some trouble, let me tell you. They're so fucking light, though. They probably weigh 1,000 pounds, right? It's like a bug. I can barely fit in that shit. I'd have to Slav squat to sit in there to get in a Lada. They got their own drink.
You're Slav, you're Slav, you're Slav. Do you often squat and wear Adidas? You're Slav, you're Slav, you're Slav.
No frame.
You're Slav, you're Slav, you're Slav. Do you like to drink was and listen to her bass?
Now I'm really interested. Looking at those Ladas, you know what I mean? Oh yeah. That's the whole point. Nothing these guys do is safe. That's the point. I fucking love it, dude. Someday I aim to be this irresponsible in life, but I have yet to find that time. I just like how they're going in full on the meme, you know? Right? A little bit of memeing, you know, kneeling into my Adidas fantasy. Might as well. Once you start wearing Adidas and people start buying you suits, it's over. It's over for me. I have nothing else. I understand. Unfortunately. However, I do spend a good amount of my time at a desk in front of a computer, so there's also that. If I was going to events all the time, I would dress appropriately most of the time. Just a fancier version. Fuck it. Fuck it, chat. Like with number 4 bolts, you know, rattling around, and the frame is just like the lack of frame, or the body is just bending as they go around the corners. I've seen those tossed off of, quarries before. when they crash them, you know? Lotus. Yeah. That's funny, dude. Oh my god. All right, where's my fucking videos? Chat. I want a fucking SMB7 so bad, but there is no world where $500 exists in my wallet where I'm going to spend it on a mic.
Welcome to Democracy.
I get very grumpy about my audio sound. And I know the ultimate solution. What I know the ultimate solution.
Democracy Now, democracynow.org,
you know how it is,
The
chat.
War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.
No one
Vice
fucking
President
cares. I don't
J.D.
have any
Vance
subs.
says the
It's
U.S.
fine.
is very close to a memorandum of understanding with Iran that would see both sides cease fire for 60 days while talks over Iran's nuclear program continue. Vance said the emerging agreement would also reopen the Strait of Hormuz to commercial traffic, with Iran given 30
How do these fucked wads expect us to believe anything at this point that comes out of their mouth? We won, we lost. It's like, even Iran was memeing on X, like, they showed them painting their airplanes on a runway and then like a bomb. And they're like, yeah, you got our airplanes, ha ha ha. And they're not wrong, because a lot of this shit's underground.
days to remove all sea mines. President Trump
It's
has
funny.
yet to give his final approval, and Iran's Tasnim news agency reports the text of the framework has not yet been finalized or
Okay. Dumbass wearing a lined tie on TV. Doesn't even know shit. This fucker is clueless. He's clueless.
confirmed. This
You
comes
don't
as the New
wear
York
lined
Times
ties.
reports the White
You
House
don't
has been
wear
quietly
Suits that have lines like that on TV. It fucks with everything.
working with Gulf Arab states to develop alternative financing mechanisms
video
to
guys
pay
are
for
gonna hate
Iran's
you.
post-war reconstruction, including
Believe me, I
unfreezing
understand.
Iranian funds held in Qatar.
Especially in
On
the
Thursday,
studio.
Treasury Secretary
They
Scott
still got old
Bessent
equipment.
downplayed President Trump's threat to blow up Oman, a U.S. ally, during a cabinet meeting a day earlier.
Are you guys back there in the West Wing making plans for a new war with Oman?
Again, I think
No, unfortunately, chat, I don't have a kissing bug bite on my face like Mr. Hassan.
the president wanted to punctuate freedom of navigation in the strait. I had a call with the Omani
Do you think, how much money do you think Trump's going to make off these Trump accounts?
ambassador
These are never going to get paid out. I guarantee it.
this morning, and he assured me that there were no plans for tolling the strait.
You think so?
Palestinians are bracing for a worsening humanitarian catastrophe in the Gaza Strip after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered his army to seize
Yeah, what happened to my
70% of the
disbelievers and
besieged territory.
my trolls? I
Already,
think they
Israel
got banned.
controls about 11% more of
I think my trolls got banned.
Gaza's land than it agreed to under a U.S.-brokered so-called ceasefire deal it
Yeah,
signed
what
last
base now?
October.
Every single young American has now. Where are you guys? Where are all the lost males that don't have anywhere to go now? They're still listening to Asmongold? I mean, on the streets, they've abandoned Trump. According to the polls, there's none of them left. They don't care. They're like, fuck you, Trump. Same with Latinos. Thank God.
Netanyahu's latest plan would push Israel's line of control further beyond the so-called yellow line, leaving even less land for
Dude.
Gaza's more than 2 million Palestinians. His comments came one day after Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said his government would implement a plan to remove large
You show me a building that's destroyed like this, and you don't show me the exact people you've killed that are guilty of X, Y, and Z. Like, there used to be a time where every single person in a war had to be accounted for. We are so far from that time. I just remembered. Like, there's no way not to look at the scenario and say this is not a genocide. All around, There is no equal amount of force being put back on the USA and Israel and this region at all. The only person pushing back at all is Iran. That's it. And they're not even pushing back on this thing. They're just pushing back on the Strait of Hormuz. So Hezbollah is not even active enough to be pushing back enough to even equalize a single building being destroyed. Okay, Hezbollah is not destroying buildings in Israel. Yeah, Iran has been bombing Israel. They're good. But
large numbers of Palestinians from Gaza under what he called
and I say
a
good because you have to have
voluntary
repercussions.
immigration scheme.
It's a war.
Israel intensified its
Iran could bomb Israel for another 30 days straight, and they still would not equal the amount of destruction and the amount of deaths that they've done in Gaza since Israel started bombing them. Okay? And no one fucking even knows the number. We're still not allowed to get in there. So it's crazy.
assault on Lebanon Thursday, bombing Beirut for the first time in 3 weeks, even as Israeli ground forces pushed deeper into southern Lebanon and issued new forced displacement orders for.
Oh, he's fucked, isn't he? Not even saying anything, right? Interesting. When's this fucker's birthday again?
Residents.
When's
United
my
Nations
birthday?
reports
When do I get
15
to
children are among
celebrate
those
my
killed
80th?
by Israeli strikes on
When is
Lebanon
it?
over the
I
past
don't know my
week.
birthday. I
62
can't remember.
children have been wounded in the attacks,
been too
which
long,
continue
folks.
despite the U.S.-brokered
That's
so-called
right.
ceasefire agreement with Israel signed with Lebanon in April. The United Nations has added Israel to a blacklist of nations credibly suspected of engaging in systematic sexual violence.
Oh, yeah, you gonna play Marathon? Chatter? I love McDonald's. Every time I go to Taco Bell, I think I'm taking a year off my life. I'm like, okay, fine. But if I was literally eating at McDonald's every day, knowing that, what the fuck? How? It's bad food, bad for you, but I love it. It's the best. It's not even that good. I don't like that. I don't think it's that great. Taco Bell's good, but that's about it. The rest of the shit is, I don't know. It's not. I prefer bespoke burger joints that make like really good chicken burgers, like I have around where I live. I'm lucky. You know, Chick-fil-A every once in a while, but fucking McDonald's. And it's poor food, in my opinion, because it's just poor. But whatever. Yeah, that's the thing, and I can barely afford the good food, and I try to still pay for it. You know, to try to get the better food. And this motherfucker's over here eating McDonald's every day.
In its annual report documenting sexual violence and conflicts
They make the best taco
worldwide,
salads.
the UN found
at my
Israel's
Trump
prisons engaged in systematic torture.
That's how I celebrate Cinco de Mayo. That's right. Dacia. What's a Dacia? Dacia? What is that? How do you say that shit? Oh, it's fucking Arabic. God damn it.
Rape, sexual humiliation, and degrading treatment of detained Palestinians. In response, Israel's UN
What, a bunch of
ambassador,
Hyundais?
Danny Danon,
Sack
said
up.
Israel will sever
Shut up or
ties with
shut up.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and his office.
is now following.
In New York, hundreds of protesters gathered outside the Hilton Midtown Hotel in Manhattan Thursday evening to
Some would
disrupt a
say-
pro-Israel so-called real estate expo that promotes the sale of illegal Israeli settlements in Jerusalem.
You never
Activists
know,
have described the
folks.
sales as, quote, part of an initiative to bolster the pipeline of Americans settling on stolen Palestinian land, unquote. Jerusalem Mayor Moshe Leon reportedly attended the event. This is Rosa Martinez, an activist with the Global
Ew.
Samud Flotilla, who just returned to New York after being abducted by Israeli forces in international waters.
You got to be kidding me.
Just
dude.
arrived from the Gaza flotilla about 4 days ago. I had been missing a lot of these illegal land sales, but to me, just coming back and entering this space, it just kind of goes to show how interconnected and how global our work
bullshit,
is.
It's
I mean,
disgusting.
you know, we were detained by the Israeli occupation forces last week. And, you know, that is a military that trains the NYPD. The NYPD has a bureau in Tel Aviv. And, you know, a lot of the tactics that the Israelis used on us
What are
are
you
just
gonna
the
do,
amplified tactics that the NYPD uses on, like, brown, black, and immigrant communities here in New York City.
Romania's government says 2 people were injured early this morning when
Dude,
a
I go
Russian
offline to you?
drone
'Cause
struck an
I just went
apartment building in
second.
the eastern city of Galati.
What the fuck?
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said in response, the 32-member nuclear-armed
hopefully
military
it didn't
alliance,
skip a
quote,
beat, 'cause
stands
I have
ready
this
to defend every inch
going
of
through
Allied
Restream.
territory, unquote. In Moscow, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Europe's a
Well, there
party
you
to
go.
the Ukraine conflict cannot act as a mediator.
Bye, everyone.
Meanwhile, Ukraine launched waves of drones
Son
overnight
of a
targeting
bitch.
Russian oil and fuel infrastructure. Russian officials reported strikes on refineries, fuel storage sites, and a
Back
seaport.
up.
Reuters reports virtually
Thanks
all
for the
major
follow.
oil refineries in central Russia have been forced to halt or scale
Afraid
back
to reach
fuel output due to
chaos?
Ukraine's attacks, with
fuck?
Russian
Where-
fuel output down by more than a quarter. This week, Ukrainian President
find me?
Volodymyr Zelensky wrote a letter to President Trump and
Randomly that
members of
follows.
Congress asking for further shipments of interceptor
Pretty much,
missiles
right?
for Ukraine's Patriot missile
I mean, I used to mess with RC models when I was younger, and they were pretty sophisticated then. Like, the fact that they can make, you know, what they can make now is pretty amazing, actually. Quite impressive. In fact, I think that drone warfare has proven that robots and drones are going to take over war. And we no longer will have, hopefully, humans in the battlefield. And robots will just take over an area and kill everyone. Yep. That's how it's going to work. Or they'll have to kill other robots and other drones. Because eventually they're going to have to make counter drones, right? I mean, we do already have counter drones, I'm sure. We already have forms of them. But I mean, like, full counter.
batteries. The request comes as the Center for Strategic and International Studies reports it'll take the U.S. at least 3 to 8 years to replenish stockpiles of interceptors depleted during the U.S.
Yeah,
war
exactly.
on Iran. On
Keeping
Thursday,
drones away from our
Democratic
house.
U.S. Senator
It's
Richard
actually-
Blumenthal
they
said
got cutting
during a
drones.
visit to Kyiv
Buzz right through
he
it.
supports Ukraine's
Come in.
request for
Meow.
more air defenses and rejects
See, I
Russia's
got a
warning
counter.
foreigners and diplomats should leave Kyiv.
America is not leaving Ukraine. Our
The hell are you gonna
diplomats
do,
are
Chad?
here to stay.
In New Jersey, protests continue outside the Newark ICE jail known as Delaney Hall, where hundreds of detained immigrants have been on a hunger and labor strike for a week, demanding their immediate release and denouncing inhumane conditions. On Thursday, the families of detained immigrants spoke out against
is
ICE's
disgusting.
retaliation against the hunger strikers, with activists saying they'd received several calls from immigrants inside Delaney reporting guards had pepper sprayed and beaten detainees. At least 6 people were reportedly arrested outside late Wednesday as activists and family members of detainees formed a barricade outside
Exactly.
Delaney Hall despite repeated attempts by ICE and law enforcement
like,
to
feel like
violently break up the demonstration.
Imagine a full first-person drone with fully armed machine guns. Come on.
Demonstrations.
Do we
Delaney
need to
Hall
spend
is
money on
operated
this
by
shit
the
anymore? No, we
for-profit
don't.
prison company Geo Group. We'll have more on this.
Like I always say, we can have MMA fights behind the White House. Putin and fucking Trump can have their champions and they fight it out. There's the war. Whoever wins, they can bet on it. Can have their little man wars. Their dick sizing fucking, you know. I mean, to be honest, there's nothing really beneficial about starting a war with anyone at this point, in my opinion. And also invading other countries. Like, we shouldn't be doing that. This is the year of our Lord 2026. We need to learn how to keep our borders where they are and take care of each other.
Story
Period.
after headlines.
Trade
In
with each
climate
other.
news, a new study finds the planet's likely to experience record or near record
equal
levels
grounds.
of heat over the next 5 years.
Not
The
with
report
10
by the
bases
UN's
in
Weather
your
Agency
backyard.
and the UK's Met Office projects
US.
global surface temperatures will exceed 1.5
Not
degrees
good.
Celsius above pre-industrial levels, exceeding a
Not
limit
good,
set
folks.
by the Paris Climate Accord to stave off the worst effects of global heating. Meanwhile, temperature records are falling across Europe this week amidst an extreme heat wave. Portugal reported its hottest ever day
Holy
in the
shit,
month of
she's
May.
back.
Italy suffered blackouts around Turin, while in
Go
Paris,
away.
unhoused
How
residents
dare
held
you
a protest
interfere
to
in
demand
people's
emergency
streams?
housing
How-
during the heat wave.
How dare she? Hello? Ma'am, what are you doing on my stream? Jesus. You just can't. You just can't. I mean,
Honestly, I wouldn't wish this on anyone. It's
okay,
awful.
she's gone. All right.
It's not
Thank
easy,
God.
especially at night when it comes to sleeping, finding shelter, or even eating. It's not easy.
In Florida, a Blue Origin rocket exploded
I mean, yeah, the Cyberdyne shit. Mm-hmm.
on the pad during an engine test Thursday evening, sending a massive mushroom cloud high
Fucking
above the Cape
huge
Canaveral
explosion.
Space Force Station. The explosion shook homes and rattled windows along Florida's Space Coast, casting an orange glow that could be seen 50 miles away in Orlando. It's a major setback for NASA's moon landing
no problem.
ambitions and for plans
Sure, our billionaires can just mess around. You know, I thought of something, and I probably said this before, but I'm going to reiterate it. I'm going to say it again, and I'll repeat it to the 5 people that, hello, welcome back, thank God. Anyway, listen, folks, chat, y'all that are locked in. The reason Bezos and Musk are selling us this idea of space travel, and yes, Musk is putting shit in space, correct? Okay. But his overall idea of Mars, sure. Sure, he said 10 years ago we were going to be on Mars in 10 years. So, just like he said he was going to release the ultra fast 250 mile per hour ultra Tesla, whatever he's calling it, the Roadster, right? With the rocket. It's like, I've got a car with a rocket. Okay, dude. Long story short, chatters, the reason that Bezos, who has billions of dollars, and Musk, who has billions of dollars, is throwing money into things like space because they can literally, they can literally burn money. I am not kidding. They are literally burning money rather than paying taxes. These fuckers are burning money, sending rockets and blowing rockets up and going, whatever, because they know that's a tax write-off. Do you understand? I'm not delusional on this one. This is a fucking main reason. They can literally go, and plus they get government subsidies. They get welfare. Right?
by
Dude, they're
Blue
just burning
Origin
money.
CEO
That's the other reason these billionaires, this is like pocket change for them. Like understanding the amount of billions these people have. He could explode a rocket every day. This is a good way to think about it. How many rockets? Hold on. I got an idea.
Jeff Bezos to build a satellite internet service for
I got
Amazon
an
to
idea.
challenge
Hold on.
SpaceX and its Starlink constellation.
And then they pretend to have this rivalry. I mean, they don't have to pretend. They can just do it. You know what I mean? Because it's good for economies. And then they're doing their part to make jobs. They're burning money. Because they're making so much. Right? And then they can point to how they're like advancing human. I mean, they kind of have a point. Okay, at the same time, but
Jeff Bezos is the
Come on.
founder of Amazon.
come on.
The Commerce Department reports the U.S. inflation
Literally
rate rose to
burning money.
3.8% in April, its fastest pace in 3 years, as President Trump's war in Iran triggered soaring fuel prices that added to the cost of producing and distributing products. This comes as a study by the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities finds 1.6 million fewer people are receiving SNAP food assistance benefits since the Republican Congress passed President Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which will slash food assistance by $187 billion over a decade. Nearly half of those losing SNAP, some 700,000 people, are children. Government ethics watchdogs are sounding the alarm after the Pentagon granted a contract to the U.S. technology company Dell worth $9.7 billion. The contract was secured despite financial disclosures revealing President Trump purchased shares of Dell worth up to $5 million ahead of the deal. Trump has repeatedly urged people at public events to buy Dell computers. In response, Public Citizen's Rob Weissman said, quote, "It's impossible to know where personal profit-making ends and policy-making starts with this president," unquote. In Massachusetts, nearly 70,000 drivers with ride-share services.
Yeah, $1 trillion would be 11,000 starships blowing up.
Including Uber and Lyft, have become the largest private workforce to win union recognition since 1941. Organizers are hailing certification of the drivers' unionization efforts as a historic turning point for the modern-day labor movement as it seeks to hold big technology companies accountable. The App Drivers Union is a part of SEIU, the Service Employees International Union. On Tuesday, SEIU International President April Verrett joined a celebration for the drivers at the Massachusetts State House in Boston.
Also, to put the 11,000 in perspective, doesn't sound like much. Like, oh, they burned 11,000 rockets. Who cares? That's $1 trillion. I'm saying that's how long it would take Musk to burn through, say, his $1 trillion worth if he started spending today. So if he burned a rocket starting today, every day until 2056, he would have burned through $1 trillion.
Years, drivers were told that they weren't really workers.
No, I'm not saying he's trying to burn through all his money. I'm just saying,
the hell that
what the fuck,
means.
get out of here.
Replaceable,
disposable,
on their own. Meanwhile, these so-called independent contractors carry billion-dollar platforms on their backs while they struggle to survive. But drivers had a different vision. They said, "Nuh-uh, not today." They call BS.
Guatemala's government's denied reports it agreed to allow the Trump administration to carry out military strikes against accused drug traffickers inside the Central American nation. Guatemalan President Bernardo Arévalo was responding to a New York Times report that was published Thursday, which cited a letter issued by the Guatemalan government addressed to U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and a reported phone call between Arévalo and Hegseth last week. President Arévalo said Guatemala is seeking joint collaboration with Washington, D.C. in drug enforcement operations, but stressed Guatemala would not approve U.S. military attacks on the ground. And Gretchen Klausing, the founding executive director of...
You know what I don't like? Is that unbeknownst to us, he just casually put in another network for the government on Starlink.
Philadelphia Community Access Media, known as PhillyCam, has passed away at the age of 61. Gretchen dedicated decades of her life advocating for public access to the media and freedom of expression and was actively involved in national campaigns in support of community media and local journalism. PhillyCam staff and board issued a statement saying, quote, Gretchen dedicated herself to building PhillyCam into a vital community institution where Philadelphians could learn, create, connect, and share their stories. Her vision, leadership, and belief in the power of community media shaped this organization in countless ways, and her loss is being felt deeply, their statement said. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report.
It looked like the heat shields got damaged pretty badly. So it doesn't feel like they got the reusable heat shield thing down yet. $15 billion later. Better than I thought it'd be.
The former Attorney General, Pam Bondi, will be in the hot seat tomorrow, set to face questions from the House Oversight Committee as part of their ongoing investigation into the Justice Department's handling of the release of the Epstein files. Bondi herself had faced serious criticism from outside and inside the Trump administration for her role overseeing the document release. It's seen as a key
She's right on time. You see, it was 5 o'clock.
Reason President Trump pushed her out of the job. Now, tomorrow's meeting is a culmination of a huge effort by Congress to get her there. She was initially subpoenaed, you'll remember, to appear in April. Then DOJ argued she no longer needed to appear after she was ousted from the AG job. Tomorrow's deposition, it will be transcribed. She will not, though, be under oath. Joining us right now is Marina Lacerda. She is an Epstein survivor who says she was just 14 years old when she met him. She was identified as minor victim 1 in the 2019 federal indictment against Epstein. Thank you so much for being here.
The space shuttle has a pretty good record, though.
How you're feeling after, a whole lot of lead up and effort and fits and starts to get Bondi to sit before this committee in a real way and face this deposition. Kind of, how are you feeling about this?
Good morning, first of all, and thank you for having me. I think it's been such a long road at this point, and we are truly frustrated, and we are thankful that she is coming in, but we would like for her to come in under oath and testify.
That's what really fucked up a space agency.
Here. So it's some, it weighs out. We're frustrated, but yes, we feel like, we're taking a step forward.
NASA kind of folded up a little bit after that.
Yeah, she will not be under oath.
Puppy.
It is still a crime to lie to Congress.
Now look, I really don't want to take away from anyone's grief about seeing the Challenger die, seeing people die in space live on TV. The importance of those people. I'm not by saying what I'm saying. What I'm going to say is, 5 people died, 6 people died. But that's what you expect when you're doing that kind of work. It's what you're there for. It doesn't mean stop. In fact, it would make me dig in deeper and figure out what happened and solve the problem so we could get through it. And that's not what NASA did, in my opinion. I think that's some bullshit. I think that's weak. So the Russians wouldn't do that. We continue. I don't even think the Chinese would do that. 5 people? We gladly send 5 people in for a night mission, knowing well and true they might die on a fucking Black Hawk Dawn. We're like, okay, they can die? Somehow the astronauts are worth more to, shut the whole program down? I don't get it.
So there is that,
some bullshit,
of course, right? But what would you hope to hear from her, especially after you said
years they practically stopped funding it for a year? They didn't do shit.
Have still not all been released, and kind of the mess,
I know, but not to our kids dying in Iraq.
Of victims identified and high-profile names being redacted that many viewed as not needing to be redacted now.
Yes, and we understand it is a crime to lie, but we can see that people are committing crimes and no one is, being held accountable for it. So it's kind of, we're very confused here, right?
You're
But,
confused. I'm
tomorrow
confused.
we want to understand what happened inside the
I want to see
DOJ with the
literal heads
redactions.
roll for this.
Why
I'm not
names
kidding.
and photos, information of victims revealed while names of those who were exploited are redacted? It is very confusing
Dicks
for
roll.
us. This is not a
I want to
hard
see
job.
dicks roll.
Why are there numerous investigation leads
miniature
not being
dick,
investigated? We have
guillotine.
so many
Just
names.
chink.
I mean, people
Sorry,
have been
boys.
asking for names. We have all these names in the files. Why aren't we
Have
taking
fun
a
with
step
that.
forward? We need to, take a step forward into accountability and justice here. And I think that it's very important, not only for the survivors, but for the American.
I'm so tired of these fucking male pig dogs who have tons of money taking sexual advantage over all the fucking women in the world. I'm so fucking tired of it. So tired of hearing about it. People need to be made examples out of. Does that, like I said, literally mean guillotining dicks? Maybe. In an imaginary world, that's a great thought. But, like, we gotta have something to stop it. Because yapping about it for 30 years has done nothing. Nothing.
American
It's
people.
pathetic.
Yeah, a real concrete step forward. I think you guys have been
Yeah.
asking for that for quite some time.
Yeah.
I was thinking back to when
Concrete
Bondi
step.
testified.
Dicks being skunked. Shook. I'm a fucking male saying this. I got one.
Publicly back in February. There was this moment when Congresswoman Jaya
Yeah, I
Paul
know,
had
but
asked
I'm
survivors in the audience to stay.
I'm going for the clippable moment, right? But I get you. Yeah. Whatever. I'm metaphorically saying chop with a fucking guillotine, but
Stand and raise a hand if they had not been able to meet with the Trump administration, and asked if Bondi would apologize. You were among them, and afterward you had said that Bondi dehumanized you and other survivors. And I was thinking,
yeah, forced donation.
She was Attorney
of balls.
General then. She's no longer in that role. Do you think
you've been
that
forced to
could perhaps
turn in your balls and
get something
dick
different from her this time around?
because you used it inappropriately? I mean, that literally.
To be honest with you, I don't think things will be
And
honest.
power.
I think she
Money,
is very
power, and
much,
balls and dick.
protecting
You have that?
somebody, and that is the next question that we also have. Who is she protecting? She is no longer, in the position that she was in, but we do feel that she will continue to protect who.
And the worst part about it is that everyone knows it.
Whoever she's protecting, which we may know who it is, but I don't think things will be different. I think I think tomorrow might be even something very quick. I think she may not even sit through the whole thing, through the whole hearing.
Quick.
We are just really,
We're hoping
really
it'll be
hoping
quick, too.
that she will come on tomorrow,
Quickly done.
and be, as honest and, as possible. Everyone has been waiting. And the last
Why are we
ad
waiting
that she
still?
did
Yeah,
the last
exactly.
time will not work this time. Everyone was in.
Okay, like I said, I'm getting really tired of hearing people. I'm not trying to take away from any of this, but we've been talking about this for so long. How are we going to get action on this?
So wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall in the Situation Room where they just wrapped a meeting where President Trump said he would come to a final determination on whether or not there is an acceptable arrangement to come to some sort of agreement with Tehran, at least in the short term, before the further issues are sort of nailed down here as well. So let's bring in Mark Thiessen, Fox News contributor. Mark just wrote a piece about really warning about.
Okay, it's literally
the
been a week
outcome
since I
of
watched
these
a Fox News
discussions and
program.
what to be
So.
cautious about as you look and listen to both sides here. Iran's side just keeps saying, we don't agree to any of this.
Yeah.
And President Trump has been quite clear on what he wants out of this deal. Where do you see it?
Well, let's start with the positive, which is that the decision to launch Operation Epic Fury is one.
This guy, Mark Thiessen, look at his tie.
One of the most courageous decisions any American president has made in my lifetime, and it has done devastating damage to Iran.
Who let you leave the house with that tie, my brother?
So when people are saying this is just like the JCPOA, no, it's not. 13,500 strikes by the U.S., 8,000 strikes by the Israelis. 82% of their defense industrial base destroyed. Their ability to build missiles, their ability to build drones, their ability to build navy. Their navy is at the bottom of the Gulf. Their air force can't fly any sorties. So this is serious damage that has been done. However, what Iran has figured out is that they may not have a nuclear weapon, but they have another weapon. They have the Strait of Hormuz. And we have not been willing to do what's necessary to open the strait unilaterally. And so therefore, they are using that weapon to force us into a deal that we probably wouldn't want to take. And that's problematic. We don't know the details of the deal yet, but what's being reported is that we're going to lift the blockade in exchange for opening the strait.
You're the Joker, right?
There's no nuclear agreement yet. They've agreed to talk for 60 days. But we shouldn't be lifting the blockade until Iran hands over the nuclear dust. We should not be, we know what a model looks like of a good deal because in 2003, George W. Bush had a good deal with Libya. We went in, planes landed in Libya, loaded up the entire Libyan nuclear program onto planes and flew them to, including the centrifuges, including the uranium hexafluoride, everything, packed it up and sent it to Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where he went and received it. And we blew up all their ballistic missiles. If we can get a deal like that out of this.
They have to acquiesce now because literally we have lost in Iran and they actually have to say it now.
If we can get the Arab countries to join the Abraham Accords, that's one thing.
As was
but they haven't agreed
predetermined
to any of that, and we're making concessions to them that they haven't earned yet.
Leftists.
I thought that the Arab
a month ago
Accord issue, the Abraham Accord, excuse me,
2 months ago.
Very important that the president brought that up the other day because it feels like
Trump's going to be in a quagmire. He's not going to be able to figure out a way out. He's going to stall. That's what we said. That's what we talked about.
He's looking for something that shakes up the dynamic, right? Because there's a log jam right now that you described perfectly.
It's a log
over
jam.
The Strait of Hormuz and our own blockade and wanting to get oil flowing again.
We got our own blockade, and then there's a log jam. It's like the beavers in, Central Park.
Is there any indication that those countries, which were so close to joining the Abraham Accords before October 7th, might now enter a deal in the middle of all this with Israel?
Well, the interesting thing is it's a very smooth tactical move that President Trump has made because those countries didn't want us to resume the combat.
That's right.
And so he's saying to them, it's like, okay, you don't want me to resume the combat. You got to join the Abraham Accords. If you want me to do it this way, this is what you've got to give. And he says, we're owed it.
And hopefully they look at him and go, shut the fuck up, old orange man. Shut the fuck up. Go celebrate 250. Go get your MMA fight in your golden palace. Enjoy your golden years, sir. I'm going to go talk to Marco Rubio, who's obviously the one running the country right now.
And he's right.
Yes.
So if he's able to get them to sign on to the Abraham Accords as a result of this, a huge accomplishment. But again, we've come so far. He is at the cusp of an opportunity to completely transform.
Do you see how he's struggling? We've come so far. It's like we just are on the cusp
in the Middle East for a generation.
Yeah.
And I just worry that the deal we're doing, even
it's like I really want us to go in, boots on the ground. I really see some dead Iranians and dead Americans. He really, I think that's what we gotta take this regime down. Like this motherfucker thinks that Trump, if he even came close to hearing the words, we can do XYZ to take out the regime, he wouldn't have said yes already. Are you fucking kidding me right now? You can have all the intel. You can have all the weapons. And if there's mountains and an ocean, you can't battle Mother Nature. You can't. You can be the biggest army in the world.
Let's say he gets a great deal,
this
Martha.
Guy's dumb.
It still gives a lifeline to the regime. We're talking.
He doesn't even understand topography. Like, or even what that word means, probably.
About, Qatar is good. We're going to do a wink and a nod, and Qatar is going to give them $6 billion in assets. We're talking about some $500 billion reconstruction fund. That gives a lifeline to the regime.
Look, he's clenching his fists and saying, we're giving him a lot. Yeah, you lose. You got to concede something. No matter how Trump is going to paint this, he's conceding and has to give them something that they want. And there's no argument for not unfreezing their fucking money. Like you.
And the problem is of giving a lifeline to the regime is that all the progress I described when we first started talking about the military.
Yeah, how about you consider it a lifeline to the people who live in fucking Iran instead, and hope that their government is good and the people of Iran make sure that it's good and they take care of themselves. Stop interfering, holding their money up.
Strikes about the damage that it's done is reversible if the regime survives.
Israel's bidding.
Right? Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, maybe not 5 years, something like that. But at some point, Donald Trump is not going to be president anymore. We're going to have one day, I hope not soon, but we'll have a weak president like Joe Biden again. And the Iranians will cheat on it. They'll rebuild everything that was destroyed.
Keep worrying, sir.
Because they are determined to get a weapon because they want to use it. Right? It's not like the North Koreans who just want to be a hermit kingdom. They want it for a purpose, and they're ideologically determined to do it. The only way these things are irreversible is if
they're isolated by us again. Still at war with South Korea. We're still at war with North Korea, by the way.
Regime changes in Iran. And that's not where we're headed right now, which is a problem.
I mean, I go back to thinking about what Netanyahu said in the beginning of this, that it was to basically break the legs of the table so that it collapses, because he wanted to create an environment through, of course, obviously the great military of the United States, create an environment where the regime collapsed, where it just falls out from under them and the people can rise up and take their...
Let me repeat, is what she's doing. She's repeating the same talking points they've said every time they've talked about going into Iran. Take out the legs. Take out the legs. The table falls. You understand? It's like, shut up, Netanyahu. Take out your legs, sir.
Country back, which they had 47 years ago, and they want it back. But clearly the hope for them at this point is dimming on that, because these guys just hang on like, some sort of thing that you can't get rid of.
And by the way, Martha,
even
we know
Safeway
how to do
has
this because we did it during the Cold War.
Yeah.
We funded the Contras. We funded the UNITA Angola. We funded the Mujahideen. We supported Solidarity.
But Trump doesn't want to arm the Kurds. He said that quite clearly. It doesn't have to be the Kurds. We gave them weapons and they stole them.
It doesn't have to be the Kurds, but we have muscle memory on how to do this. We liberated 400 million people in the Cold War.
We have muscle memory. This guy's so delusional. So, nothing's changed at Fox News, except the fact they're still spewing propaganda like this, where they're saying, well, Trump should have gone in, but I guess we're going to have to acquiesce. That's a general term here. That's a general vibe. Great. That's what I thought. It's literally what I thought. You can almost literally analyze what Trump says and what he's doing, and then figure out what Fox News is going to say. And the week after that, or just a couple days after that, depend on what, how fast the news cycle's going. It's easy. It's so easy. It's pathetic.
Food prices are about...
And the fact that it's so easy for me to see, sometimes I wonder if I'm the only one. I'm not. There's other people saying the same thing I'm saying. I hear people say stuff I say in a different way. It's all the same shit. We all see it. And that pisses me off more because I know there's people that are smart as me that can see this shit too, and they're just going, whatever. I don't vote. Well, fuck you. Whatever's not going to work anymore, folks. It's not. We can't whatever it through the political process here in America. Politics isn't what it was. Politics isn't usual anymore. Politics is actually life or death in some ways. Literally. You like paying $400 a month on your insurance with a $600,000 deductible? I don't. But guess what? That's what I pay because I live in America. Is that freedom? That's not freedom. So no, it has become life and death. It's serious. So don't come at me with, well, politics don't matter. Or anyone like me, because we're not going to hear it. We're going to tell you straight up, look, you get involved somehow. You do something. Because even if you don't think it matters to you right now, it will. More than you think. And if not, you're going to have your come to Jesus moment, as they say. You'll have the time where you'll be like, oh, I get it now. Oh, I get it now. Whether you decide to grift and you say you get it now and you're pretending, or you actually do get it now and you're like, yeah, oh, okay, I understand. Then that's fine.
Out to rise for the second straight month after nearly
it's taco
4
time.
years of declines. We know what...
No, I do feel like Trump is acquiescing this time. I think there's weeks left, but I don't know when it's actually going to open because there's logistics involved, cross-betting. We're at the poker table right now, and
rose prices. The once-in-a-lifetime, hopefully, COVID pandemic caused shutdowns across the globe. It resulted in supply chain bottlenecks.
Yep.
There were workers who were unable to work and process these goods. There was a backlog. There were short.
Yeah, prices went up. And guess what? Guess what, folks? Prices never went back down after COVID. Prices never went back down. And guess what? Now they went up again. So it's not like they gone down, now they went up again and they're back at the price they were at COVID. No, they're higher than they were at COVID.
Shortages and prices went up dramatically. Inflation really hit globally.
Right.
The U.S. was a little bit more insulated from it, but still the economic pain was immensely significant. And as of last month, the wage gains
okay, chat, who do I play?
That people were experiencing have now been outpaced by the inflation that's been...
Random? I'll just do random. That way chat doesn't need to decide.
Once again turbocharged by Trump, but this time this isn't COVID. These are his actions, particularly as it relates to the war in Iran. So you have these factors here that are in play in terms of why food prices are going to be going up. You've got the Iran war.
Shut up.
But you've also got extreme weather due to climate change, which Trump is turbocharging, and high cost for farmers, which are the results of his tariffs and his economic policies. So you can draw a line right back to Trump's decisions, and I hope the Democratic opposition party does so. Again, not holding our breath on that front, but some good Democrats should be doing that. Let's read this part of this really good Bloomberg piece on where we're at with food prices.
So many goddamn choices.
The U.S. saw its warmest ever start to the year, with temperatures running about 6 degrees Fahrenheit above average through the end of April, according to the National Centers for Environmental Information. The early heat prompted some domestic crops to begin blossoming weeks ahead of schedule instead of remaining dormant throughout the winter.
I'm starting to run out of my stash from last year, though, and I didn't plant this year, so.
Leaving them exposed to subsequent frosts, according to Brad Rippey, a USDA meteorologist. Beef prices, among the most politically sensitive in the U.S., rose to a record in April thanks to the smallest cattle herd in 75 years.
It's okay, I don't have time.
Squeezed by drought and high production costs. And you can see this chart if we can scroll down slightly.
This is what I'm talking about.
Look at how high.
So you can use U.S. beef prices. I mean, Other shit just tracks this same thing. It just nothing else is chicken isn't any better. I mean, come on.
High U.S. beef prices are, as I said, 75-year high.
That's what I'm
and
thinking too.
The higher costs on ranchers and farmers are the result of the tariffs. But in this instance, with beef specifically, this drought has been a major problem, and we're still going to be experiencing El Nino soon, which is going to make the climate change-related extreme weather even worse.
True.
Tomato prices, meanwhile, surged 33% over the last 2 months after 2 winter storms brought widespread damage during the peak of the growing season in Florida, while shipments from Mexico were declining following the Trump administration's imposition of duties on imports. If we could scroll down slightly.
In my greenhouse.
Heat and drought in the western and central U.S. spell more pressures to come. California accounts for almost half of annual U.S. vegetable and 3/4 of fruit and nut cash receipts, and diminished snowpack in the Sierra Nevada this year to just 23% of typical levels as of mid-April has raised concerns about irrigation supplies. Drought has also spread across the nation's breadbasket, where staple wheat crops that are typically used to make all-purpose flour or pasta have withered for lack of rain. As of May 19th, 70% of U.S. winter wheat production was in areas of drought, along with 25% of corn production, according to the National Drought Mitigation Center at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And forecasters now say an El Nino weather pattern is likely to emerge by August, with rising odds of an unusually powerful event, I should say.
Yeah. You have to... Honestly, there's a way to do it that I always wanted to try, where you use a very large greenhouse that's kind of industrial scale, and you do hybrid sun indoor lighting. You have both. The thing is once the plants are flowering, you could turn it up. And then potentially you're just growing year-round in a greenhouse that's adaptable. You have to be like in a Mediterranean climate, though. You know what I mean? High-end greenhouse, Denmark style. Think about that. Oh, I need to hit this turn.
Say that will persist into 2027 and push global
CO2,
average
lights,
temperatures higher.
Sun.
So this is
blackout.
The result of climate change. And I am begging Democrats to make the very easy case right now that we need to remove our dependency on fossil fuels, and you can make an economic...
There's people that do that. We have operations around here that are like that.
argument, which is a lot more salient than the tree-hugging one. That's going to actually have political motivation behind it really easily by connecting it to imperialism, the war in Iran that is causing this, and to climate change, and those two things connect. Our wars in the Middle East, our involvement in the Middle East is due to our overcommitment to oil and how the United States has maintained is due to our overcommitment to oil.
Yeah, and then we're like, oh well, fuck wind. Cancel all wind projects. Take away the 30% tax on solar to incentivize solar on houses. That's a good idea. We don't need that shit. You know what we need? More oil. Let's go make more wars that we said we wouldn't do.
And how the United States has maintained itself as a global hegemon by securing energy passages.
Indoor hydro is insanely crazy if you don't have a controlled environment. But when you get the environment controlled, it's similar to what I'm talking about. The only thing you would be adding would be the sun, because it's a greenhouse. I mean, you can imagine how hot a warehouse gets that has full of lights. So, indoor hydro is quite fun. But when you have a problem, you have a problem times 40x. Man. Some of the crop failures you can have, it's monumental. It's so sad. Holy shit.
Via military force and the petrodollar being dominant. We have to move ourselves off of fossil fuels if you don't want to be paying this amount of money at the gas pump. And if you want your food prices to be in a good place, also affected by the Iran war, because climate change is making these issues so much.
Let's just say that Texas had a very happy supply of California bud for quite a while. Say 12 years ago, when it actually made sense to grow weed.
Much worse for you. And the Iran war is directly affecting food as well, because fertilizer prices are up 20% since the war began. 1/3 of fertilizer passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Plus, in addition, the cost of everything is going up.
So that also means fertilizer for marijuana will go up too. Because, well, that's usually supplied by Dutch, the good stuff.
Because fuel itself is going up to transport anything. And our reserves are less than 2 months away, it appears, from from being depleted. And then we're in 5-alarm fire territory. But don't worry, because Trump's not worried.
State, though, so.
Trump's not worried about how this is going to impact anybody, it seems like.
Oh, he doesn't
When he
care.
talks about how America's been getting richer, he's almost exclusively talking about oil executives or AI executives. He's doesn't even really, I think, have the fortitude at this point in his life to, like, from a messaging standpoint, bring it back to the American people. He's just like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care if prices go up, essentially, because this is so important. Just a reminder, he ran on, we knew he was lying, but what he ran on to get the voters that he didn't previously was no new wars, and I'm going to make prices go down. And now he's doing wars and saying, I don't care if prices go up because of the wars that I'm doing. So here he is saying, hey.
But to be honest, I use the same Dutch formula, whether I'm growing in pots or hydro. You just mix it differently. It works fine. It's great. The good Dutch one, too, is made from minerals. It's basically organic. And you could, like, if you had pots, you could just add in a little bit of chicken manure, too, especially early on. And, of course, if you do pots, you mix in a shit ton of stuff. Anyway, so your plant already has some juice. But then it runs out. You gotta feed it. I prefer just to water it with nutrients. Works great. Especially on a drip. Fuck! Fucked up.
Iran, if they're trying to hurt us in the midterms, I don't care.
Has no value. Their whole economic system is broken down. They thought they were going to outweight me, you know?
No, you just use straight up Fox Farm shit. That's what you need. It has chicken poop in it already. Yet what's more important for me whenever I'm growing inside is always the inoculated soil. You don't want soil from outside.
Well, we'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Look what happened last night. That was the prelude to the midterms. People understand it. They know that.
Yeah,
Very simple. Iran cannot have
that.
a nuclear weapon. I'm doing that for the world. I'm not doing it just for us.
Oh wow,
Doing it
so
for the
magnanimous.
world.
He's doing it for the world. Where's that Nobel
great?
Peace Prize? He wants to dust it off because he didn't care about that at all.
Doing it for the world, folks.
It wasn't
We're
for
so
him.
lucky. We're so fucking lucky. I'm doing it for the world. No one should have a nuclear weapon but us. I've got the nuclear codes in my pocket. Too bad there's poop all over them. I'd push the button now. I better not sit down. I'm trying to sometimes think what it must be like to be inside Trump's brain and be Trump. And it's pretty delusional in there. I guarantee it at this point. Lots of people
very
keep birds.
revealing. He does.
Some keep birds, some keep hawks, some keep, fish. But I don't keep anything. That's right. Nothing but hot mics.
Does this often. Remember when he kind of accidentally said that there were only 1.7 million people left in Gaza? He said that a while ago, and I don't know if that was a bad number, but it would also track with what we know about the fact that really hundreds of thousands of people in Gaza are unaccounted for and presumed dead. It would be interesting to know if that's what he knew. But he often does this. He just says things that you're not supposed to say publicly because he doesn't have the discipline. Like, he's revealing that he knows that Iran knows that their position strengthens as long as they continue to wait this out, and they can punish the United States with economic pain, and they want to disempower Trump and the Republicans in the midterms, which they have every right to try to hurt Trump politically as he's bombing the hell out of their country. It's just crazy how they are portrayed as the savages committed to violence when they're using just like actual political and geographic leverage. Who needs a nuke?
Correct.
When even two nuclear powers bomb them, they're able to have resilience and use different kinds of pressure points.
It's mutual. No,
to
nukes are not
harm
weapons.
the administration. The problem is that just Trump, at least publicly, wants to pretend like he doesn't care about the midterms. I don't think he really does. But I was already elected. He was already elected, and he's a lame duck to this point. Like, what is on his legislative agenda? I think he'd prefer it, but he's more interested in
He knows something we don't know.
Personal glory, in the way that he defines it. And yeah, there was something else that he said there that perhaps I wanted to touch on. But here's this other part of the press conference that in which he mentions Oman. And some people are wondering if Trump got Oman confused with another country. I don't think he did. This is what he said here about Oman, which is a long-standing U.S. ally.
The strait's going to be open to everybody. It's international waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters. And
yeah, and then Trump's going to be like, next question, please. And the reporter's going to be like, well, Iran calls it an environmental fee. It's like, yes, this is an environmental fee. Of course, we charge environmental fees too. It's fine.
Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
Well, they'll be fine after we blow them up. Hey, so Oman is an ally. They have not yet joined the Abraham Accords, but Trump is also trying to...
Yeah, he's mad that they haven't.
Incorporate the negotiations surrounding the Abraham Accords as well into the potential for a peace deal. That is, I don't know, like, he's already bit off more than he can chew. He's trying to bite into a live cow or something like that right now. That's not going to happen. You think you can bully these nations into the Abraham Accords after not just failing to protect the Gulf countries from Iran's retaliation because we were so much more interested in investing in Israel despite the security guarantees that we gave to some of the Gulf countries? Now you're threatening to bomb?
And like Oman doesn't see that. They think that Oman doesn't see all that. Like, Oman knows what's up. They're there. Trump isn't.
One of them.
Does Trump listen to his briefs now, even? Or he's listening to Fox News?
Because, I don't know, they're not sufficiently acquiescing to your demands, even though your standing with the Gulf countries has been rapidly deteriorating.
I don't understand it.
Over the past few months since the war began. And I will say, because Oman has previously served as a mediator in U.S.-Iran talks,
Not supposed to make sense.
It very much is, once again, the Israelification of our military tactics, or at least our posture. Remember in last year when Israel bombed Qatar, which is a mediator country, and they had to like really apologize for that because it was a major issue. Saying this about Oman is absolutely insane.
Also, the Strait of Hormuz is not international waters.
That's exactly. We just had an IM who wrote that in, saying it's not. It's within the borders of Oman and Iran, which is interesting. I mean, UAE also, I believe. If I'm not great at thinking about maps off the top of my head. But yeah,
there's no way it's international waters.
Iran, Trump is trying to look tough through a series of Truth Social posts and bombing threats, and that is what I wanted to say. Dude, you're talking about the primary when he said, look what happened last night.
It's a prelude.
Yeah. You see, this is where it is. He does not care about the Republicans' chances. He cares about getting his guys in.
My guy won.
My guy, Ken Paxton, he won. Total sweep. And you're right. You have effectively made the entire Republican base into a cult that does whatever you want, regardless of what they purportedly cared about. Thomas Massey was all over the Epstein files. I don't care.
Typically, someone's international waters, also known as Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ, typically extends 200 nautical miles. That's approximately 230 miles from a nation's coastline. The Strait of Hormuz is only 20 miles wide. What is he saying?
Trump voters just care if you endorse the guy. You do have a cult behind you, and he enjoys the thrill of that. But that's not the general, buddy. That's not the general election. And you got to bank on a lot of turnout from those cranks as well. And I'm not necessarily sure you can bank on that, because people are looking at their bank accounts. Womp womp.
Right.
In a moment, we're going to be talking to Zachary Foster.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.
Let's go.
The girls are fighting. Destiny's been lashing out in every direction, right? Because he's in an interesting position in his streaming career where he can't get any bigger, and he's frustrated by it, right? He's watching all of his peers, people who have streamed for shorter periods of time than him, or people that he views as his contemporaries like Kyle, and he is getting extremely grouchy about the fact that they continue to leave him in the dust. Kyle put out a video.
Do you want to remind everyone of the glorious rant that Kyle went on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Skipper, thanks for the $5, Kyle. I don't know if it's been mentioned, but Destiny did a response to your call out over the Hassan situation today. He was triggered and did a lot of shit talk. Don't care, plus not going to watch, plus he's a loser, plus nobody cares. For real. That guy's irrelevant. That guy's pathetic. That guy's silly. That guy's ridiculous. That guy's obsessed with every single stupid little fucking petty grievance he has because somebody snubbed him online in 2017. Like, bro, nobody
That's all he
gives a
fucking
shit.
cares about.
Nobody cares.
He's a little
Go
pussy.
cry in your corner. Go
Not
do
the
another
good kind
17
either.
videos about the other fucking creators that you don't like and you hate for it. Have you ever, if you're beefing with fucking everybody on the internet, have you ever stopped to think, maybe it's me, right? By the way, you got you got bigger fish to fry, son. Aren't you in court for like various sex crimes? How about you go deal with that instead of beefing with us? Okay, like we don't. I'm sorry, we don't give a fuck about you. The only time that he even comes across my mind at all, or he comes across my feed at all, is when he's
Same. When someone else talks about him. Maybe later. Check this out, chat. Look at this shit. Can't show its full screen, but Here's the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, right here. Sorry. Right here. The Strait of Hormuz is right here. Okay. This green-blue color you see is the Strait of Hormuz color, right? It's called the exclusive economic zones, aka not international waters. I turn this away. You see all of the Strait of Hormuz, all of it. It's an EEZ, the whole thing, all the way out to here. Hello? How dumb do you think we need to be to understand that they're not in international waters when they're in the goddamn strait? Do you think that Florida doesn't have an economic zone? Hello? Yeah. Rules apply to us, or apply to them, not to us. That's the way they do it. Look at this. It took me 10 minutes to find this. It's not hard. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't even have to have a college degree. I'm proof.
Justifying and rationalizing Donald Trump illegally targeting fucking Hassan Piker
Access
for going
to a computer,
deliver ramen noodles and diapers and food to Cuba, to a country that we're
Literally.
illegally starving to death. Okay, so if you want to take Trump's side, then you're a disgusting piece of shit,
Over
and
that,
everybody knows
especially.
that. And you know what? There's a reason why you're crashing out. You're crashing out because deep down you know you're disgusting, petty, vile,
It's true.
and vindictive and pathetic, and nobody should respect you. Because if you can't say, hey, stop targeting us, it's not that hard. If the government was targeting Destiny, I would come out here and say, stop targeting Destiny. He did whatever you think he did. There is no crime here if it's just dissenting against the government.
And if you pause this really quickly, right, we talk
That's
about some of the
100%
pettiest
right.
people on planet Earth, Gavin, the Young Turks, right? Oftentimes the Young Turks come across our desk and we say, damn, these are the pettiest, most self-involved, most fragile people on planet Earth. And even Anna Kasparian, during the brief contribution she made during the Young Turks segment about Hassan being probed over his trip to Cuba with the indictment from the Donald Trump administration, she was like, I don't like Hassan Hiker. I don't even like your nephew, but I would, of course, go on any channel, on any platform to defend him and to say that this is wrong, right? So if Destiny can't even clear the Anna Kasparian bar of morality, if he can't even find a way to be, not even less petty, but the same amount of petty as Anna Kasparian, who, she has to flippantly remind everybody that she doesn't have a good relationship with Hassan. She can't just be like, oh, well, this is horrible. I hope everything's okay. She has to take a couple of jabs at him as Cenk rolled his eyes and was like, hey, this is serious. I don't want my fucking nephew to go to prison because of this fascist leader of our country, right?
Yeah.
But Destiny can't even manage that.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's completely pathetic. It's the most petty shit I've ever fucking seen. And Kyle's 100% to just go off on him in such righteous fashion, just completely explode on his stupid fucking ass. Let's take a look at what Destiny says in response. Again, doubling down with the fucking cope here. I love that these worthless quote unquote pundits, like he is a pundit, you know what I mean? I don't know what's in quotes about that. That's his fucking job,
He's the
bro.
only pundit.
But I love that these worthless pundits like Kyle Kalinske always seem to know so many personal details about me when they crash out hard after getting called out for the deeply unserious people they are. You have zero right to complain about anything in this political environment after you literally endorsed Jill Stein in the last election cycle, which is a fucking lie. Kyle supported Kamala Harris 100%.
Like ketamine sedation?
He briefly flirted with Jill Stein when it looked like Joe Biden was still going to stay in the race and be the nominee. But that's a total fucking lie. Kyle supported Kamala Harris probably harder than just anybody
put
in the
all
entire
these,
online left. I'm not even fucking kidding
suspended
you.
animation.
The audacity for you worthless losers to come crying to the liberals after you lazy idiots couldn't even be bothered to endorse Kamala in the last election.
Oh, yes, it is actually.
Shows how unbelievably stupid you guys are. You wanted to take the acceleration
Especially
route.
right now.
Well, here we are. Good luck.
meant that,
So
sorry.
somehow it's Kyle's
Sedation.
fault that
Gotcha.
we're in the situation
Yes.
we're in. It's thanks to this faction of the online left that wanted Joe Biden out as the
They'll try to say that Being anti-Zionist is sedation. That's what this government will do.
Nominee.
That's how much they like Israel.
Those were the people that undeniably made it easier for the Democrats to pick up more seats, for them to do better than they would have done if Joe Biden had stayed the nominee. Which Destiny would have apparently been totally fine with. Like, Destiny wasn't clamoring for Joe Biden to get out of the fucking way. He wasn't clamoring for there to be a change of leadership.
I am advocating for taking over the Democratic Party as leftists, though. By that I mean every single candidate that is elected from now on is a leftist and has a anti-Zionist platform. And I think we can win something.
That, again, literally enabled the entire Democratic Party across the board to do significantly better.
No longer,
That's
though.
what Kyle was doing. He saw the disaster
Be careful,
coming.
for real.
He was like, shit, Kamala's obviously not ideal.
Chatters, if you're listening, some of you are here, be careful what you say on the internet right now, especially if you're speaking like I do. There's a little more protection when you're actually speaking like I am rather than writing and texting like you are. You understand? This government, if it decides to ever come after anyone else, not being like hyperbolic right now, I'm just saying, it's commonly referred to as Fed posting.
But she's way better than
really,
Joe Biden. We have
Fed
to put
post
as
right
much pressure as possible to make sure that Joe Biden's not the nominee, because it's going to be a total fucking bloodbath. And then,
I mean, for example, you can almost guarantee that there's a FBI and CIA chatter in Hasan's chat, right? Come on. If fucking Fox News is watching Hasan stream every day now, FBI van has been in his fucking channel since the beginning.
he went hard in the fucking paint for Kamala Harris.
It could be ironic.
Again,
it
he
could
went
be
harder
real.
than Hasan. He went harder than Crystal. He was 100% coconut pilled. and for Destiny to just completely deny that, to just straight up fucking lie about it, I mean, it just shows that he doesn't actually have a good argument against what Kyle's saying.
Oh, yeah.
Because he can't actually just grapple with Kyle's
course,
actual position, which is that Kamala Harris was clearly the better
someone's checking
candidate,
their bot
and
laws,
the candidate that he
you know what I mean?
100% enthusiastically supported in the last election.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, a quick Google search will make that clear, right? Let me throw this up on screen. This is like 2 months before the election. She's selected Tim Walz to be her running mate.
FBI and CIA.
Here's a segment. I literally just went into Secular Talk and typed in Kamala Harris and went back to the lead up to the election. This is the kind of content that he was putting out
Some of the
about
best.
Kamala shocks Kyle with capital letters.
A lot of times what the FBI and CIA will do, and this is not a movie, they catch a hacker, they try to turn him into a white hacker, or quote unquote, on their side. Because, yeah, they did something wrong, they broke the law, but they're good.
Based policy agenda. Now, does this sound like a critical video to anyone
Pile
over
two.
here?
Exactly.
Oh my
That's what I'm
gosh,
talking
based
about.
policy agenda, right? Let's
It
read
doesn't
the
matter
comment
if it's
section.
Twitch chat or
The canceling of medical
Tumblr
debt would
chat.
immediately take
You
me
know
out
what I
of
mean?
debt. Rule of thumb: if corporate America doesn't like it, it's probably good policy. So not only was Kyle enthusiastic and coconut pilled, so was his audience, right? And while I think it's true, you could make the case like, hey, Kyle, you didn't support Joe Biden. You haven't always been the guy that's going to tell your audience to go and vote for the
but he's
Democrats.
coming in
That's
strong.
true. But what
Kyle's
you
coming in
cannot
strong.
do
I
is
respect
accuse him
that.
of not supporting Kamala Harris, because he kind of had a very similar evolution as us. We were not planning on supporting Joe Biden. That's the reality of the situation. Neither of us were at
That's
all
where I came from,
enthused about endorsing the butcher Biden. We both talked about how he was a dog shit candidate. He was asleep at the wheel. He needed to be a one-term president. We were begging for a primary to happen. The entire primary, the Democratic Party
reluctantly
establishment ignored
voted for him
people with
in
humble
California.
podcasts
It
like
doesn't
ours,
matter.
talking about how anybody, Dean
I
Phillips,
still do.
anybody would be better than Joe Biden because Joe Biden couldn't win. Right? That's the literal analysis we
time.
were giving. Kyle was giving that analysis. It was like, well, if this guy can't win, might as
'Cause
well
not
vote
Trump.
your conscience, right? Might as well see, let's flirt with Jill Stein, who's deeply unserious and really not worth the time. and
Kyle
energy.
also supported Marianne Williamson, obviously, in the primary. She's a Democrat, so
Yeah, it's just crazy to make the argument. But then, of course, Kamala Harris.
To Kyle's credit, I feel like also his wife is a little more liberal than him.
Gets the nomination, and everybody's like, "Holy shit,
ways.
the Democrats might have a chance."
And she picked
the
Tim Walz, who Kyle was a huge champion of.
Exactly. So to me, it's just a lie, right? It's inaccurate to portray
probably a
Kyle in
positive
this
thing,
way.
actually.
And again, this is another reason why nobody likes Destiny, because he lets his petty grievances get in the way of his analysis. Gavin and I have all kinds of petty disagreements with people,
Yeah,
but I
he's-
just gave Anna Kasparian credit a second ago. We've talked about how well they've done in appearances on Piers Morgan when they're talking about the issue of Israel-Palestine. We've talked about how, people like Tim Miller of the Bulwark have said things that we really deeply disagree with, but we also appreciate him standing up for Hassan Piker and being critical of Josh Shapiro as he misrepresents the left's critique of AIPAC.
Yeah, especially if you're standing up for the real free speech, not this fake Elon Musk free speech bullshit, but actual free speech that we all know to be true, that I don't need to explain. Yeah, you can say what you want. There's free speech, but there's consequences. Duh.
As being like somehow a critique of the Jewish faith and not of a foreign body that's perpetuating horrors beyond our imagination and our name. So those kinds of things are what you have to do if you're an honest.
Yeah. Look at Chud the Builder's arc. There's your free speech arc. There's your fuck around and find out free speech arc.
Pundit, as Destiny likes to call us, right? You have to be like, hey, yeah, whatever. Like, this guy doesn't really like us. He said mean things about us, but he's right about this. And, I'm happy to be like, oh, yeah, this, we agree on that, right? Because, that's the name of the game, right? That's what we're all doing. But Destiny, it's all about his own personal drama. It's all about his own personal pettiness. And at the end of the day, if he can, slander or slam or misrepresent or lie about anybody
because you're telling me that this is an example, not me saying this to you, but someone's telling me, hey, this is the way it is. This is the way the world is. I see XYZ this way. And then I respond with, well, I don't agree with you. Well, you're taking away my free speech. But sir, what you're saying is harming me and other people around you. And this person's like, well, XYZ is what I want to do. Because why? I'm like, you understand that it's hurting other people. Yes, but I have my free speech. Yes, but you understand your free speech is a consequence that happens when you say it. That's fine.
Used as an opponent of
That's
him
the response
in the streamer world, he's going to.
Yeah, 100%. And also, even though Kyle did enthusiastically
misinformation,
support Kamala Harris,
that's how you let
even
it
if he
become
had
the norm. Then you don't know what to believe. For real.
Or to Jill Stein, even if he had voted for Jill Stein, it's still fucking ridiculous to blame him for the for Donald Trump's election. Like, obviously I think that people like voting for Butch Ware are pretty unserious. I think that people that voted for Jill Stein in the most recent election, again, pretty unserious, but it's like 0.03% of the fucking vote. Like, to blame those people for the failures of the Democratic Party is just so fucking absurd. Again, you can kind of make fun of it because it's kind of unserious. It's like, all right, what you just like virtue signaling? You might as well just like write in Bernie Sanders if you're just gonna vote for someone with zero chance of winning, right? That's my position at this point, and that comes from someone who has voted for the fucking Green Party. In 2016, I voted for Jill Stein, right? So it's like it's just a stupid petty point, even if it was true. You know what I'm saying? Like who cares, bro? People have the right to vote for who they want to vote for. And to blame this tiny faction of the far left for, again, the failures of the fucking Democratic Party is ridiculous and just completely absurd.
Yeah, and it really does kind of reveal the rot and the lack of morality at the center of whatever Destiny's politics is, right? He's interested in politics because he thinks it's fun to debate, not because he has an actual belief system. And I think that's really clear here. If you are a Democrat because that's your belief system, if you are a person who nominally finds themselves on the center left as opposed to the right wing or wherever, even if you just want to call him a dead middle of the road centrist, it's because you have at least some sort of an understanding that human beings are worth taking care of, right? Yeah, we should have public schools. We should have a justice system.
Bro, he's
we
not
should have
even
homes
serious
that,
about
you know,
what
people
he
can live
does.
in, and they
Destiny
shouldn't get
is a
sick from the lead in the
fucking
walls.
troll.
And we should have regulations, right? Because human beings have value. And what value do they have? That they shouldn't be taken advantage of. They shouldn't be oppressed by the law. And and you don't change that. You don't walk out of your house and say, oh, I actually don't believe that the fire department should come for that guy's house if it catches on fire because he voted for the Republicans in the last election. That's not what people who actually believe in a civilized society believe.
You want to take
But
the
Destiny over here, the
accelerationist
second
route?
it's
Well, here
convenient
we
for him to be
go.
like, oh, you were an accelerationist, ha ha ha.
I'm gonna
boots on the other
yell
foot,
about-
fuck you. That's how he comes down, and it's just deeply evident
I've seen
that
enough
his
Destiny.
politics are not voted by any sort of like
I watched him way
sincerity or
back when he was new
humanism,
on
even if he
Twitch.
wants to pretend or cosplay as somebody in the moral higher
When he
ground
wasn't
to make his
delusional and didn't
argument
have brain
seem
worms.
stronger at any given point.
Yeah,
I'm beginning
and it's
to
like even
wonder.
Hassan, he did vote for Kamala Harris. He openly acknowledged that she was the better option, but he didn't go quite as hard in the paint for Kamala as Kyle did.
Right.
You know, obviously he was very critical of the DNC, which led to him getting fucking kicked out of the DNC. Very critical of the war in Gaza,
My
the
name's
genocide
Stephen
in
Banal,
Gaza,
the
right?
third,
But it's like
and
he-
I don't
those
understand
are
anything
accurate
about
complaints.
the Electoral College and how in California they can actually have a what they call a
Vote. It's called a vote against the norm, where you actually vote a third candidate. Because obviously California never is not going to vote blue.
Like he has the right to make those complaints as a left-wing fucking commentator who's advocating for his ideology and for the human rights of the people that are being butchered by the Biden administration. Like that's an accurate.
the California
thing to
vote
complain
is
about.
going to Democratic
It's not like
Party.
he's just making up some issue to like nit.
Protest votes are fine in California. And for you to be so dense that you're Stephen Banali III and you don't understand living in California and not voting and voting for Kamala Harris is like doubling down on Kamala Harris, because you could also choose, like I said, to do a protest vote and it wouldn't change the outcome of the vote for California. And as a Californian, you understand this. I don't know where fucking Stevie Banali III Destiny, the omni-liberal. Yeah, the last one. You're right. He's going to be the last fucking liberal. Thank God.
Pick Kamala Harris over. Like, no, that was constructive
some more
criticism.
cocaine.
Had the Democrats actually listened and learned from that criticism coming from their base, they would have performed better.
Off a
There's a
twink's
better chance
ass,
Kamala would have
'cause
won.
that's
if
what
she
you're
took
doing
Hassan's
already. I
advice
know it, Destiny.
and distanced herself from the
Might as well
incredibly
admit you're gay.
unpopular position
It's
that Joe
fine.
Biden held on Israel, which is just to be a total Zionist, give Netanyahu a blank check,
Bi,
and
whatever.
pretend to
We know
be
you're
against
bi. It's
the
fine.
genocide while you actually completely greenlight it, right? That was very unpopular. Hassan's point was like, hey, I want Kamala Harris to win, so I'm going to
And
offer
we know
her
you're
this
about her because Hassan wouldn't love you. So it's fine too. Just move on, Bo. He doesn't like you. No one likes you.
to fucking criticism.
Just
Hopefully
move
she
on.
hears it and adjusts course. She didn't, and she lost. That's not fucking Hassan's
You
fault.
might have some
and it's not our
salient
job to be
fucking
fucking
points.
political
You might actually get
propagandists
rid of
either.
some
Like,
of your fucking brainworms. I doubt it. He's too old. I'm old. I know. Once you get the good thing is my brain is set on one thing, and that's what I talk about.
Unless you're literally taking money from the DNC or from Chorus or whatever,
Like Destiny.
like Destiny. Yeah, it's
I'm
like
not-
that's sorry,
got
that's
no
not our
money.
job. Our job is not to do fucking outreach.
There's no
for the
PBS
Democrats.
for
We're
me.
we're not Democrat propagandists. We're here to give our fucking opinions and our
No
perspective,
chorus, no
and hopefully to
PBS.
educate people.
You just get
but
me
it's not
raw
like we end
every
every show
fucking
by
day. That's right,
signing up
chat.
our audience to register
Every
as
day it's an
Democrats
improved
and go
stream.
support
The
Democrats.
sound's better. The production's better. I have special guests from other worlds. I do the news. I have Adidas hats. I have different Adidas outfits. And I like talking to people in chat, as proven by the chatter who has been talking for the last 2 hours. Thank you.
Like that's not the fucking job of an independent online
I
commentator.
have,
I'm sorry.
But beanies? I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 beanies.
Yep. Yep. Basically, what they love to do is act like you're totally irrelevant, kick you out of the DNC, and then when it doesn't go their way, oh, it's all your fault. This guy that we didn't listen to, that we completely humiliated, and that we degraded whenever we had the chance to.
Yeah.
Blame it on those guys, the people that we completely marginalized. And
Oh, good news, folks.
Shockingly, a judge appointed by Barack Hussein Obama Christopher Cooper ruled that the Kennedy Center, which was going to close in early July for large-scale renovations and construction due to years of neglect, decay, and poor maintenance, and which was to be transformed by the Trump administration into the finest facility of its kind. Finest facility is capitalized. Come on. Anywhere in the world capitalized. Like, come on. It's not allowed to close for those anywhere in the world is not allowed to close for those renovations, which would not be possible to properly do without such a closure. Additionally, Judge Cooper ruled that the 36-member trustees, which unanimously voted, the ones I appointed, to add the name Trump, again, I appointed them, to the Kennedy Center, making it the Trump Kennedy Center, did not have the right to do such an addition, and the name Trump must be removed. That's right.
Isolated.
Yeah. Either way, just more pathetic fucking cope from Destiny, one of the biggest losers on the online left, if you even want to call him a fucking leftist at this point. I mean, remember in the last election, he literally unironically supported fucking Pete Buttigieg.
That's right. I mean, I said it. It won't stick. He tries it. The judge says you're fucking lunatic. It won't stick.
Over Bernie Sanders. I'm sure we can expect more of that. He'll probably be the biggest Josh Shapiro, yeah, you know, propagandist in the fucking world.
Okay, one more, and then I gotta play. Okay.
Yeah, in the comedy world, we say we're the last line of defense because this is where the woke meets the wall.
Hold on.
We're the last.
Hold on. Do I play Dune? I gotta play Marathon. I gotta practice for season 2. It's coming up Tuesday. By the way, it's gonna be free. Marathon. Anyone, any chatters you're lurking in there? I know somebody you might want to play with me. Let me know. I really need to team up this season. I've been playing solos. It's fun, but it looks like it'll be actually funner to be solo this year. Especially with that the new
Yeah, in the comedy world, we say we're the last line of defense because this is where the woke meets the wall.
We're the last defense before tyranny.
The thing about Dune is I paid for like the first 4 DLCs, and it's such a good game. I've played it 72 hours, and I've gotten I've built my base like 7 times, gone through 7 Stevens and wipes or whatever. I mean, I bought it when it was in beta. So anyway, it's a great game, but it's also not fun unless you have like 10 people to play with. So because you just don't have enough time to mine everything. To grind it so hard. Such a good game.
We're at the wall.
Honestly, it's not as popular as it could be. No one likes it, but I really like it.
We're at the wall with fucking turrets keeping out the barbarians.
We have the ear of Donald
one of my
Trump.
favorite games.
Yeah.
I always have like a MMO on the side that I play. I love those games, and it's one of my favorites.
Tell him exactly what he wants to hear.
And we never ask him a question about being a. We're obsessed with that.
Stand politely behind him.
Oh God!
I was there. We don't ask him about it,
and accept whatever answer he gives.
And then even if we do, we're like, oh, that makes sense.
Well, what is this? He's got a broken arm. Like they see the same doctor or something. He just broke his arm, and the other guy broke his arm. Wait, I mean,
and don't press him. But
and then we go, bro, damn, bro, that's crazy, bro. I ain't even think about it like that, bro. My white ass ain't think about it like that, bro.
But we have his ear. You're right, Joe. We are the last bastion of free speech.
All right, so it looks like Stavros Halkias is yet again calling out Joe Rogan and the entire cult of hacks surrounding him.
I'm sorry, but all those guys back there, look, I mean, they aren't looking their best. He looks so dorky with that beard, in my opinion. I don't know. Whatever. I don't like to judge people, but they don't look the best.
Of hacks surrounding him down in Austin, Texas, which honestly is just really satisfying to watch at this point. Because unlike some other comedians that have tried criticizing these guys recently, Stavros actually knows these people. Like he's done just about all their podcasts, and he's even...
The thing about Stavros too is no one can fuck with him because, he's the kind of comedian you just can't fuck with.
performed at Rogan's Club back in 2023 when the whole...
In fact, he got Asmongold to, get tweaked about not having a girlfriend. It's hilarious.
Austin comedy experiment was still in its honeymoon phase. So unlike some other comedians who have tried and failed at calling out these hacks recently, Stavros is super accurate and personal when he calls these guys out, because he's genuinely watched this entire scene slowly disappear into its own weird little echo chamber in real time. So now all he can really do is just point and laugh at it.
Well,
I can't wait.
Me in Austin.
Well, yeah, are you really moving?
No, maybe.
I'm gonna kill myself if you fucking move to Austin. Anyway, play a fucking call, Eldest. Quit. Oh, the first person quit.
I think he moved to Austin.
He
moved to Austin.
Oh, so
because he thought it would be a boon to him professionally, but it definitely wouldn't be. Because all the EMTs are way worse in Austin than they are in New York.
EMTs just talk about woke culture when they pick you up. The first thing they do in Austin, the EMTs, as soon as you get there, they check a woman's fucking pussy to be like, all right, it's a pussy. It's not a fucking dick. All right, we can take this one.
And so, like I mentioned earlier, Stavros actually did dabble in the Rogan sphere a little bit back when the mothership first opened up. Because at the time, it was basically...
Good trans joke.
The new hotspot for comedians. I mean, even Dave Chappelle performed there back then. But as you might already know by now, a lot has changed with that entire scene since 2023. Because over the last couple years, these guys went from comedians casually talking about politics to politics becoming their entire personality. So once Rogan, Tony Hinchcliffe, and a bunch of the Austin crowd fully attached themselves to...
In my opinion, these are all the people they've gotten super lazy with comedy. Every single special I've seen of theirs, mediocre. Rated like a 4 at the most. And I like comedy. I used to really be into Eddie Murphy. But I wouldn't want to see an Eddie Murphy set right now. I want to see new comedy. I don't want to see hack comedy like what these guys do. Lowball trans jokes. And jokes that where you're saying the joke just to say the word you're supposedly not to say. It's cheap. No thought.
Trump, Stavros immediately stepped away.
It is,
and he'll agree with what I'm
I'm
saying.
actually kind of shocked that he endorsed Trump. That actually was shocking to me too. I know him. I didn't think that was something he would do.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's more the thing of get people in, get no shit. It would be great to have an insanely popular pop culture figure that has your politics. Duh, that would be good to have.
Yeah, but it's interesting that he escapes. I was extremely disappointed in his endorsement of Trump.
Yeah,
not because it's Trump. Also but because I was like, I didn't have a ton of respect for that guy personally.
I need another hard drive.
I lost any shred that I did have, and I gotta say, I lost some respect for Tim Dillon having JD Vance on.
JD Vance stinks. Yeah, I agree with you.
I was like, dog, what do you do? I loved him.
Tim Dillon's
all right. Fast forward to 2026, and it seems like Stavros made the right decision to distance himself from them. Because nowadays, even casually associating yourself with some of these people comes with a weird political label attached to it, whether you want it or not. Which is also why it's kind of a risk these days for Stavros to go on to JRE again. Because it seems like on Joe's podcast, no matter who the guest is that day, there's almost a 99% chance that Joe Rogan's gonna go on one of his classic tangents about how he thinks vaccines form autism in children.
Yeah, vaccines, they make my child autistic.
how he thinks antidepressants don't work, and that Alpha Brain can solve all of these problems instead. So it's not like Stavros Halkias hates Joe Rogan for any of these things, but he just doesn't want to get tricked into agreeing with him while on a 3-hour-long podcast, most likely high out of his mind, which he explains here.
Hey, this is my favorite show to do. Can I
Thank
tell you that?
I love that.
Number
That makes me
one
feel
favorite
good.
podcast
Hell
to
yeah.
do.
That makes me feel good.
This and Are You Garbage?
You're one. Oh,
and we might be
best, too.
drunk.
Yeah, okay.
And,
well.
and Rogan. Rogan. It's Rogan.
No
wine.
way.
You might be drunk. Is that a
I know
show?
you're fucking lying.
Now I know you're lying.
Let's go for it. Let's go 3
spending
hours.
3 hours nervously trying to not say anything about immigrants.
I'm like this.
They're not trying to get clipped agreeing with something up.
I know, right? Holy shit.
The show
that what he
is
thought?
fun, but you do 3
crazy.
hours, and there's like an hour and a half, which is what a podcast should be.
He's
That's
right.
awesome, and then you're high as shit, and you're like, did I say eugenics is good? You know what I mean? Like, I've smoked a joint, and I'm like, what did I just nod along with? Because I'm trying to not be high.
I'm not even smoking joint. I'm just there and playing YouTube videos. I'm like, whoa, crazy.
So yeah, after seeing that, it's just kind of understandable why Stavros wouldn't really want to go on that podcast again. Because to his point, the conversation with Joe these days can quickly escalate from a casual conversation to you
Yeah, it's his
suddenly agreeing
podcast.
to one of these extreme narratives that
He goes
Joe
off on a
spews
tangent,
out of the
and it's
blue.
like-
Which also puts you in a tricky spot if you disagree with Joe. Because as you might already know by now, Joe is an extremely sensitive little man. And whenever you push back on one of his theories, there
that's a
is
good
a
picture
high
of him.
chance that he'll get all pissy about it
Short
and throw a
legs.
temper tantrum. Like when Brian Callen pushed back on Joe Rogan's anti-vax talking points.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Mr. Joe Rogan, Mr. Scientist. Are you saying that we shouldn't
Don't
have...
do that. Don't call me Mr. Scientist. I'll start mocking you, and it's so much easier to mock you.
So are we...
But aside from Joe's podcast, Stavros has actually
It's so
a
much
lot more to
easier
say
to
about the
mock you.
mothership as a whole.
That is very
Because the
condescending.
craziest part about all of this is that Rogan still tries branding the mothership as this
I
beacon
know more
of free
dirt on
speech
you than you
comedy.
got on me,
Meanwhile,
bitch.
the place literally operates with armed
That's right.
guards, facial recognition
come at me.
scanners, and enough surveillance tech to make it feel like a mini Palantir testing facility disguised
Yeah,
as a
they
comedy
examine
club. Like every person
they
who
make
goes
sure
to the
you're not gay there.
mothership gets their face scanned out too, which can only be unlocked after they leave the venue. Which by itself is
that.
pretty normal for comedy clubs nowadays, but when you combine all of these
not
things
going to that
together,
place.
just shows you how scared Joe Rogan is of someone potentially recording his anti-trans material.
But you know, what are you gonna do? How's everybody doing, man? Alex, you're back. You're fresh from Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, Texas.
A
for a little
Hollywood
bit.
power player.
I went from that to Texas, Austin comic
who's
for a
the
month.
shorty next to him?
Nice.
Okay, you was at Joe Rogan and them's house.
I walked past that club every single time. Did not go inside.
Let's
Oh, you didn't say
go.
that?
I saw them AR-15s. I was like, no.
Are they in the window?
No, they're in front of the
Oh
club.
yeah, they have like security. They have like
Yeah.
like retired Green Berets.
Well, they
do
need that.
security.
They got ICE agents. At
Yeah, they got ice up in there.
I don't think they got ICE agents, but they got guys
damn,
that if they
she's
didn't have
wearing
that
some fly
gig,
shoes.
Yeah.
they might be looking at ice.gov
Listen.
applications.
Listen. Yeah. And based on some of the stuff that goes on inside that club, yeah, you need some guns outside of it just in case somebody try to pop off from there.
Imagine the insane people that are like, I'm friends with Joe Rogan. Like, imagine the because we're talking about guys who are like conspiracy guys. They
Yeah.
probably think Joe is giving them signals to like, hey, like the Liver King was trying to like fight him or something. You remember that? Liver King lost his mind.
I didn't hear
he
about
was
this.
eating cat testicles or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd go crazy too for all
No,
this
he
eating.
lost his mind. But
true.
yeah, shout out to the Green Berets guarding the mothership.
So between the ex-Navy SEAL bodyguards that would die to protect Joe Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe,
That's
to
right,
the
brah.
extremely invasive measures that they force onto every single patron of the club, it's super ironic that these guys are all about American freedom. And Stavros has
That's what I
actually
mean.
touched on this a little bit on his podcast.
They're just echoing the X algorithm in real life. It's really all it is. It's all the guys that Elon Musk would hang out with.
Podcast as well. Because to Stavros, it doesn't even seem like these politics around these comedians are genuine half the time. Like it more so just seems like a grift to pander to the far-right crowd down there in
Right.
Austin, you know? Like in another clip from a completely separate podcast that Stavros did with Godfrey, the two of them basically start joking about how a huge chunk of the Austin comedy scene only leaned into this right-wing culture war stuff after failing to make it in the more mainstream entertainment space. Like they
Right.
discovered that they couldn't really do the comedy thing to just
he's
be
not that
funny,
great.
so they had to pander to the far right crowd. And Tony Hinchcliffe
Right.
is the best example of this.
True.
You know, yeah, like there's a
Hollywood
lot of stuff that aligns with
loser.
Trump. Kind of the
And guess who's in a movie? Stavros. Yep.
was selling out, and you know,
Listen, but the right wing,
Stavi.
like some of these comics are getting all right, and now they want to get shit on black people. I go, but we were hanging out with you.
yeah, it's very it's pathetic. I mean,
yeah,
it's
like,
careerist.
But my thing is, why are you going into the woods and shit on black people?
Well,
Like,
it goes back
Exactly.
to what you're saying about like it's
Good point,
a lack
bro.
of meritocracy. These people are not good,
No
and they
doubt.
understand that like almost all these conservative figures
Mm-hmm.
started wanting to just be famous, and they realize they don't have the goods, and so then they
Racism
decide,
works.
oh well,
me
no
do- Yeah.
one's catering to these. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of there's a whole
Fuentes,
yeah,
him,
yeah,
all
yeah.
of those guys look like they be pushed in the bushes at school.
Oh, I mean those guys
Like,
are just pathetic.
Like
I mean
this,
those.
yo, shut up, fucking McCaffrey. Ooh,
It does get to a point where you're like, is this what happens when bullying doesn't happen? You know, there's
We
a little
gotta
bit of
bring it
that.
back.
But yeah, there's a whole
That's
type
not
of
good either.
the pure racism.
No.
Comics engaging with that.
It's
I'm done. Like
No. It's misogyny. It's misogynistic bullshit allowed to be run wild. It's nothing else. And the fact that most of these people are male white boys is proof. And they're making jokes.
I don't even want to discuss it with
Yeah.
them because it's like,
Oh, come on, bro. I mean, Stav said some pretty nasty shit before.
once you engage, you're a fucking idiot. You're so stupid.
Yeah.
And
all
it's
good.
like, and this is the problem with comedy's gotten to the point. We'll move on because I hate talking about comedy, but it's like people don't care about being funny. They care about being successful and being rich.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so a lot of them see.
So
it-
he literally just said what I said in a different way. But like, yeah, they want to be successful. So they go to where they think they can get the most views and be the most fucking controversial. And they think being controversial is good.
as a smart market play.
No
There's a
doubt.
big market to the to conservatives who want to shit on immigrants and shit on
doubt.
trans people.
Yeah.
So why? And I don't have the jokes to just be funny.
Right.
So why don't I make that pivot?
True. Yeah.
And the same
Yeah.
the same guys who were sucking Trump off. Maybe they weren't huge supporters of his politics, but they saw it as an opportunity to court his fan base, and they
Yeah.
put that over. It's so pathetic to be a freedom of speech guy, and then be like, "Well, I support Trump." It's like, are you a fucking
what I'm
moron?
saying.
Yeah.
Just because you'll be able to say the N word,
Yeah,
and you'll
you're
be able
right.
to say, like, he's talking about jailing journalists. That's not freedom. We don't matter.
Yeah.
Comedians really think we matter.
Right, yeah.
And we don't at all.
Facts.
We don't matter
It's
at
true.
all.
It's
dude.
true.
It's
It's
like
true.
journalism matters so much more. And like, look what's happening in fucking CBS, where it's like, it's just that dumb Barry Weiss is just basically doing Trump's.
Yeah.
It's just become an arm of the Trump propaganda. But it's fucking pathetic. And
I think it's gonna crash.
But
And honestly, there's probably a lot
gonna
of truth
crash.
to what they're saying here. Because if you look at a lot of these guys, most of them originally wanted traditional Hollywood careers. They wanted
Yeah.
sitcoms, movies, Netflix specials,
Or had
acting
them
roles,
and
and
lost
mainstream
them.
industry success
Joe Rogan.
overall. And when that didn't really happen,
Joe's the
they
one that's the
slowly
most
realized
successful.
that there was an entirely different audience online that would embrace them as
And I'm not gonna lie, the only reason anyone knows the rest of these motherfuckers is because of Joe as well. So it's not a loss to irony that all the bros that are down there are people that are successful because of his right? Because of Joe.
long as they constantly complained about woke
It's my input.
culture, transgender people,
Right.
cancel culture, or whatever outrage topic was trending that week.
100%.
And the biggest sign that this whole thing is a grift is because when Kill Tony debuted on Netflix, he immediately agreed to everything Netflix told him that he could and couldn't do on his show. Like before the Netflix thing, he was always harping on about how he was never going to censor his shows
Right.
and how his show is the last area of free speech and comedy nowadays.
Yeah, at
but
the
whenever there's a
show.
Netflix Kill Tony episode nowadays, apparently a lot of it is cut out. So this whole grandstanding shtick that these guys do about free speech is both disingenuous and completely unnecessary. Because honestly, what words are they really not allowed to say on stage in a comedy setting on YouTube? I mean, crying about free speech as a comedian is pretty much just them outing themselves as being super hacky because they really can just say just about anything they want if the joke's funny enough. But being that they're missing that element in their comedy, they just cry about it.
100%.
That's my favorite thing about stand-up comedy now is people pretend we're deep. It's like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
You need to be funny. The entire job is be funny. There is not...
No matter what. It can be politics and it can be funny, but be funny. Otherwise, don't do politics. Do dick jokes. And do them good and be funny.
The other thing about it, it's the simplest art form on earth, is make people laugh by any way you need to do it. Figure it out, but don't you don't gotta make them think. It doesn't have to be fucking poignant. And some people can do it. Right?
Yeah, fucking interact with this goddamn.
That's the thing.
Screen.
It's like their acts are mediocre at best, and you don't grow if you fucking. And here's the other thing, and we'll stop talking about comedy soon. We just because. I don't want to be one of those podcasts that overdoes it, but like, you exist against something, and it's like, what do you have to say? Like all the people who talk about free speech, and I think you should be able to. I'm a huge free speech guy, obviously, but you need something to say, and you should be able to say the most offensive things for a reason, not just because you're bombing, and if you say hard, it'll get a laugh. That's not a joke.
Yeah,
that's literally not a joke.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
What's this notion of like you just want to do comedy in a vacuum where there's no repercussions, where it's just like say whatever you want, and we can't even because it's like you say free speech is like we don't want you arrested. We just want to not laugh,
just to say you're bombing in a fucking
that's
hack.
It. Right.
You are that.
Like you want freedom from that?
Yeah. I know.
I can't say you're bombing in a fucking hack.
Yeah.
You want to be respected, but you suck at comedy. Also, there's not that many good, but that is why this happens. Just because like so few people can actually be good at comedy, and so it pisses them off. They think they should be famous, and this is and again both ways. But I will say, in the last decade, it's become clear it's a lot more profitable and easy to be the right wing comic now.
So Halkias is obviously somebody who actually watched this entire scene transform in real time, and I think that's why his criticisms for them hit a little bit harder than someone like Chelsea Handler's. Like, he saw the Austin experiment before it became whatever this is now, and from his perspective, it just looks like a bunch of comedians endlessly reinforcing each other's political opinions while pretending they're still rebellious outsiders, which is completely ironic and needs to be called out by way more comedians with podcasts like this. Because these guys constantly talk about being counterculture, anti-establishment, and anti-authority. Yet they're some of the most powerful and protected people in comedy. I mean, they all have Netflix deals, billionaire friends, political connections, armed security, and one of the biggest media platforms on earth. So it's really nice to hear Stavros calling them out again. Especially when he made fun of Rogan and his crew for always talking about the Epstein files, but never mentioning it to one of Epstein's oldest pals, who Rogan apparently has on speed dial and messages him every night before he tucks himself in for bedtime. But anyways, guys, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks so much for watching.
Okay, guys, new game. Feast link. You know, you sign up for a thing, and all of a sudden it appears in your Steam library because you signed up, you don't remember what it's about. That happens to me all the time. I see an interesting game, I sign up for the beta, it just appears in my Steam library. This is a game that just appeared in my Steam library. Now, better check something though. Yeah, you know, sometimes these have NDAs, so I better check. If absolutely no one is streaming it, then I know I'm in trouble. It's not looking good, boys. I might be... Huh. NDA'd? Out of my mind? Hold on. I might be NDA'd. Let me look. Before I turn around. There we go. There it is. Okay. Generally, there's an email, and it'll tell you, just so you guys know. Okay. Signed up on May 9th. Okay. Fine. Says nothing about NDA. Fuck you then. We're good to go, folks. No NDA. Get the fight.
We appear to have a serious problem in the containment area.
We have a containment problem.
We're going to have to deploy a bit ahead of schedule.
A little bit like Tau Ceti.
A rogue beast has awoken near our
the
perimeter.
screens look so
in the heart
nice.
of old San Francisco. It's moving through the inner
Oh, it's
city,
in San
heading
Francisco.
straight for our data
Not
center.
far from my life in real life.
You're under-trained, under-equipped.
I'm under-equal.
But
I can duck.
right now,
Hello.
you're all we have.
Oh.
The only one synced enough to make a difference.
I'm synced. That means I can go in as Kanji. I'm ready to go in and tear and shred.
The deployment interface allows
Huh?
you to deform, transport, and then reform your entity as needed
What's
elsewhere.
mission objective? Start
Access
mission.
the threatened containment area. through
Save the data center.
Operate you remotely.
Start mission. ND8 out of my mind. Some would say, save the data center.
Configuration is only done in the hub. You'll be able to optimize between deployments.
Thank you.
Choose the initial deployment area and reform to reassemble your essence in the containment area.
Okay, shut up. I don't care. Can I spawn? Oh. What is this? Notepad U. Respawn. Looks like I'm screwed. Well, there we go.
Stay where you are.
Do not
Do
move.
not move. That's it. It's a mandrill. It's going for our data center. We only have minutes before precious
Data
knowledge
center.
is lost forever.
Right on. See ya, friend.
Listen carefully.
Hang on. FTL, yeah. Wish you could play Marathon. It's free this weekend.
Use whatever transport you can find.
Or next weekend, sorry. The 2nd. Tuesday. On a Tuesday, mate. We'll be playing the Season 2 debut of none other than Marathon. That's right. Follow the path to reach the sleeping beast. Let's go, baby. We can drive. It works. It's cool. What path are we on? Oh.
I see it. And this is a cool... where's the beast? We gotta find it. It's on the right.
Vehicle you see can be hacked into and driven, thanks to my Trojan horse written into their software.
Right. Do I have to crash through this? He's on the left, mate. Left.
Keep your distance from the wild mandrill.
Oh.
Its pathogen field is destabilizing the Neuralink. If it spots you, it'll tear through the city to get to the serum signature.
Okay. What am I supposed to do then? What is this? I see it. I can't even see it, folks. I look at my beautiful Chinese car.
A horned lizard should be just outside your perimeter. Get there quickly. Go to the skull. You'll see a resonance point. A neural link node.
Let me latch with the horned wizard. That's right, chat. Interact. Oh, hello, friend. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wake up, sir. Oh. I'm a lizard.
Synchronization is now complete.
All right, thank
Your
you
neural
so
pathways
much.
are synced with the lizard's mind.
All right.
Move towards the mandrill. Clear anything that stands in your way. It is of no consequence.
Fuck you. I'm heading for him. Huh? Run. Jump. Oh, that's a tail wag. Alright.
Use one of your compatible mind-seek actions to destroy what you need.
SR31. Yes, frame gen on. Let's go. I don't understand why some games have this SR frame gen and some don't. Because that definitely helps. I'm a monster. The music sucks in this game so far. How do I even walk forward? Fucking humans.
Get his attention. Make him see you.
Okay, let's roar. Time to fight, bitch.
Defeat the mandrill. Eliminate his will to fight.
What's the tutorial?
Don't overtire her. Rock attacks. Look for energy to recharge.
Frames. What am I supposed to do? Oh, it's kind of like a fight. I see. Huh? Oh. Oh. See, then you gotta fight it. There we go.
Yes, you're adapting perfectly. You'll need to increase sync levels now, or the beast's mind will refuse to cooperate.
Hello?
He's weakening. Finish this before your beast collapses.
Do something, you piece of shit. He won't move. See why this is beta. Turn around, brother! I gotta roll. Okay, I need to turn down the goddamn graphics on this thing. I can tell you that right now. That's right. I dodged you, bitch. I don't understand this game. This is lame. I am fighting the beast. Okay, I don't... How do I get out of fighting? E. Q. Base. 2. 1. He's dead. No, he isn't. But he's gonna be. So I think I figured everything out. Let's go, bitch. 1, 2. Coronal Beam. God damn this sucks.
I knew you'd take to it. Link suits you. Rest now. I'll handle the extraction.
Why do I keep having to say fight beast? That's so dumb. Fuck that. Turn that off, guys.
Congratulations, my friend. Not many
Thanks,
can withstand a full Neuralink without side effects.
Oh, there's gonna be
You'll
a
do
side
well
effect.
here. Let's not waste energy. You'll need to learn how to handle armament. I've opened the weapons bay.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. It's great. Looks good. Oh, I can skip. Gamma correction. Fuck, why is the res so low? What happened? Fuck that, I want to play the game, bitch. Okay, go to the Armory Bay. Elope. My friends can go with me. Okay. Up to 4 players, looks like. Could join me. NPC? Can't tell. Yeah, NPCs. We've got some NPCs. We got some NPCs here. That's right. Love to see it. Alright. Yep, see? This is a museum of modern art, and it's not called the Trump Museum of Modern Art. So fuck you. Just gonna go for it. All this. Convergence into multiplayer arena and then credits next piece, sealing your fate as the ultimate weapon. Battle arena. Play immediately as a beast against friends. What to watch, folks? What to watch? Any ideas? Hello? What movie came out this weekend? Okay, that's cool. Alright, so we've got a gun. That's sick! I don't even care. Kill me!
A poor allocation of potential.
It's fine. What am I doing? Switch weapons.
1 minute remaining.
Well,
I've collected important data. Find a vehicle to transport me to an extraction point.
oh, this is dumb as fuck. Not only that, it doesn't run good at all. Look at this shit. It's on low. It's gonna take some optimization, I can tell you that. Where's the monster? There he is. Can I kill the monster with the fucking sniper rifle? No.
The world is merciless. Adapt or die. You chose die.
Okay. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Not fun. People are like, yeah, marathon's not fun. It's like, pfft. How many games I've played? Back to game. Okay, let's go here instead. What do I watch? What do I watch on TV? Got an idea. Oh, okay. That's cool. Now you know. In cinemas. Nothing new this weekend, right? Oh, fucking shark. It looks good. Deathleap 1. Electric Strike 2. Okay. 3. Let's go. 4. Everything's out of sync. Fight. That looks cool as fuck though. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, bro, but bro. Crushing the spiders. The cars move. That's no wonder it doesn't run good. Holy shit. Plus full destructo mode. Look, it's even got interior buildings. I'll get top of this. Can I? Let's cue it. To it. Free it. Nothing. Okay. Death leap. WSW. Is this a mini game? W. A. WA. ASD. Won't let me leave. Got it. Just like the Twin Towers. Can I get out? Can I get out? What is this game, bro? There's jets coming in after the weapon. Hulk. I'll hack on you. So how do we get through this?